Okay, so recording has been started. Now, in this segment of a session, what we're going to do is we see a complete picture of component, you know, in a hands-on manner, in a live manner, in programming manner. Correct? We'll see how exactly we program in component. Correct? So what we do now is, as I said in the last session, correct, that your component is a collection of your HTML and a class. So you have an HTML called app component.html. This is the HTML file, and the class is your app component class. Correct? So how we program in the component is exactly the way we program in our C++ or Java or C Sharp or the code behind file of PHP also. Correct? I've given all these examples so that you will feel right familiar. We program exactly the way we used to program in OOPS. Correct? So let's see, some more enhancement over the last. I mean, what we did in the last session. Let's see on top of it what else we can do. Correct, in the component. So when I say, name and version, these are two properties which we created in the last session. So I would say these are properties. Correct. But apart from properties, what else do you see in a class? What else do you think we have in a class? Correct. We have object. Do you agree? Do you agree we have object in OOPS in a class, right? Object. So can I create object? Let's see. How can I create an object? How we can create an object? Let's see. Right. Give me a minute. So if I say, okay, name, version, cost. One second. Huh? Name, version, cost, and what else? Type, string is active, boolean means true and false. Okay. So if I need to create, let's say, if I need to show or get the information or print the information of a course, correct? These are the probable. I mean, these would be, would be the properties that I probably be creating. Yes or no? If I need to basically show the information about the course or get the information of a course, correct, from the user, or show the information of a course to user, these are the these would be the properties that I would be taking it. Yes or no? Like name of the course, version of the course, what we are going to learn, cost of the course, type of the course, correct, and is this course active or not? What is it, guys? Correct. And I need to do something like this: version dot cost. I say default value is $200. This dot type, I say front end. Then this dot is active equals to true. Tell me, guys. Correct. That's how I need to plan then. Cost type is active, right? So like this, my object is, I mean, that like this, my property list is going to increase, and there is no grouping to it also. Do you agree or not? Do you agree or not, team? If I go ahead with this way, my tomorrow my property will get increased. Let's say two more property got added. Two more property got added. Let's say start date, end date. Okay. Then I need to create two more properties like this. So do you see any proper way of handling it in OOPS? Do you see any proper way of handling it in OOPS? So best way would be create a class. Yes or no? Guys, best way would be to create a class. Can you tell me what should be the name of the class? Can you tell me what should be the name of the class? Any guesses? Quickly. Any guesses, guys? What should be the name of the class? Rohit Tomar saying enter data. No. Component. Pranshu say component. No. I'm saying no component. We are not talking about component. What I'm saying is I need to basically group the properties. Okay, I'll tell you the definition of class again. In OOPS, what you have studied in OOPS? In OOPS, the very first thing is the class, correct? What is class? Class is a collection of attributes and behavior. Why we create class? So that we can group all the data members, similar kind of data members, correct? Functionality wise similar kind of data members in one in one group, correct? The idea of class is to group this similar kind of data members at one place. So similar kind of data members means data members which are similar in the similar in terms of functionality. For example, I wanted to capture the course, so my functionality is to capture the course. My functionality is to show the course, correct? So wouldn't be better that all the property that belongs to course I should group it in one single class? So answer is yes, it makes sense to create a class, correct, and group all the properties under one roof. So my question is, what should be the class name? My simple innocent question is, what should be the class name? Come on guys. Name of the course, version of the course, cost of the course, type of the course, is active. I've given you the hint also. What should be the name of the class? So yes, Pranshu, you're correct. Course should be the name of the class, not mean, because mean is also a course, correct? So class name should be course. Do you all agree or not? Just tell me yes or no. Do you all agree? Yes or no? Ravi Pandey, how about you? Do you agree or not? Right? So let's quickly see that. So the same properties I will put in the class, right? Name, string, version, cost, type, is active. And then what do you see in the class? A default constructor. Do you all know about default constructor? Pinky, including you. Did you hear about default constructor? When you create a class, when we initialize the class, when the class got instantiated, I should say, then a default constructor call, right? So simple. I created a class. That's it. Done. Simple. Now I need to create an object. So I say course with lowercase course, and my course variable, just like my name variable was of string type, version was of number type, cost is of number type is of string type, is active is of boolean type. Similarly, my course property is of course type. Do you all agree or not? Do you all agree or not? Yes or no, team? Yes or no? And how to create object? Okay, someone says please repeat again. It was Mehboob. Okay, so Mehboob, just like we have created a name variable or name property, I should say, name property, which is a string type. Version property, is it number type? Is the active property of my class is boolean type. Similarly, I'm saying I created a course property which is of course class type, course object I should say. Course, let me write course object so that you will not get confused. So I created course object property, correct? Or in simple, let's say C property, correct? C property, course object property, any name I can give it, right? So course object property, it is of course type. Do you agree or not? And then how we create object, that also we all know, if I'm not wrong. Course, right? Correct team? Correct team? We created object, right? And I can say something like this dot course object equals to curly braces open close, and now I can say cost, let's say 200 or let's say 400 is active, I say true. Name I say Angular. Type I say UI. Version I say 9. Version is number, no? Yeah, 9. Then nothing. Okay. So on this note, are you with me? At this node, are you with me or not? Object population, you can say. We populated an object population. Great. So Pinky has a question, why we using course? Why we using course, Pinky? Because as I said, okay, if I have this name, version, cost, type is active as a loose property, correct? Okay, first of all, my question to you, uh, name is a name of course. Version is a version of course. Cost means cost of course. Type is a type of course. Is active is to check the course is active or not. When we have these many properties related to course only, then don't you think as per OOPS we should create one class, correct? As per OOPS we should create one class and put all these properties under a class. Yes or no? If it is just a name, or just a version, or just some other properties, I would not be taking a class because it doesn't make any sense. But when I have more than 2 3 properties which belongs to the same thing, course, so don't you think it's a good coding practice? I mean, there is no harm in it. Let me tell you one thing. If you go with this approach, you will never get any error. But this is not a correct approach, right? The correct approach is when you see two or more than two properties which belongs to, two and more than two property, yes, belongs to the same type. Same type means belongs to the same, what do you call it? Same feature, same group, I should say. It should be from the same group, which is course. So why don't create a class name course and put all these properties under the course class? Got it, right? And now here I populated it. Now I need to know from you how I'm going to print it. Tell me guys, how do you see we are going to print it? Here what I will do is I will open UL, no, I will create table, okay? Say object title table has tr, every tr has td, right? Tr means table row, td means table column. So I need 2 columns per row. One column will say the name of the course, I mean one column will have the heading and second column will have the value. Okay, let's quickly do that. So I need this, so I need one for name, one row for name, cost, version, type is active, right? So name, cost, version, type, and is active. Correct. And can you tell me now how I'm going to print it? Any idea? Any idea? Already ng service running. Already ng service running. That is why whatever I do, correct, it is going to refresh my browser. Okay. So any idea how I should print the name, cost, version from the object or by using the object? Okay, I'll tell you, no problem. What is our object name? What is our object name? Course object, correct guys? What is our object name? Is course type. So I would say for name, curly braces open close. Remember in the last session I told you, in the curly braces is used for property binding. I need to pass my property name. So now my property name is course object. So if I say course object, correct, is not going to print anything because course object is an object. There is a property inside the course object. So course object dot name. If I type like this, then only you will see the name of the course will come. Guys, do you agree or not? Yes or no? Quickly. So in the interest of time, I just simply copy paste and change the value. So here it should be is active. Save it. Here it should be type, course object dot type. Save it. Then version. Save it. Then cost. Save it. What happened to is active? Let's see. Oh, the spelling mistake. Is active. T-I-V-E. T-I-V-E. Right? Be careful. It is case sensitive. Of course, spelling mistake will generate lot of errors. Yeah. So now you see is active will also come. Yes, true. So what is it, guys? Isn't it easy and simple? Isn't it easy and simple? Yes, Pranshu, double braces are syntax basically. We call it interpolants. Interpolants means basically placeholder. It is not new for you. In C, you might have seen %a, %I, %s, correct? In Java also, you guys might have seen curly braces, placeholder. In C# also, you might have seen curly braces, means placeholder, correct? So in .NET also, sorry, in here also, what do you call it? Angular, they call it, technically they call it interpolants. But exactly what they are, this is nothing but placeholder. They are holding the place of the variable so that its value will come over here, right? Okay, so my question from your side, guys, tell me honestly, is it looking easy or not? Is it fun or not? I mean, are you enjoying it or not? The way we are, simply creating it in the code behind file, I mean class file, and then HTML, we're simply printing it. Are you finding it easy? Are you finding it simple? Are you finding it neat and clean, I should say? I should ask. Correct? Simple approach. Okay. If you are impressed, then we see the next thing. Okay. Now I see something from array side. Okay. So before array, let's do a little practice of an array. Little practice of an array means a small array will pick it. So what I do over here is I say array. Array, you all know? All of you know array? All of you know array? Arrays, yes or no? Anyone who doesn't know about the array part? All know. Pinky? Others? Great. So let's create an array. Yeah, great. Let's create an array quickly. So now I say course name or course names. Course names. Okay. And what it is an array of string type. Array of string type. Understood? Clear? Clear? course names is an array of string. Agree? And how I'm going to populate it? Yes, array is collection of similar data type. So what is this? What is the data type here? Quickly answer, guys. What is the data type here? What is the data type here? String, correct. So data type here is string. Absolutely correct. So what I do is I say this dot course names equals to your array open close, and just simply print the course name. So I say Angular like this. In the interest of time, I'll quickly copy paste like oops. 5 I guess are good enough. Angular Node React Ionic. What else? Angular Node React Ionic, AWS mean. Correct? So this is the list of, this is the list of course names. Okay. Now my array is also populated in my constructor. Above my constructor, you can see the pattern what I'm following. You can see the pattern which I'm following. Above constructor, I'm just declaring it. Okay. In the constructor, I am initializing it. Initializing means I'm giving value to it. So I've initialized my array, and now I wanted to print it on the HTML. Don't forget the name of the array. This is course names. So I wanted to print it in the HTML. Can you guys help me? What should I do? Can you guys help me in understanding that what exactly I should do? I am typing HR. HR means line break. Okay, HR tag is going to bring a line. Above that, again H2, I say arrays. Just doing a proper segregation so that you will understand. So I'm printing all the courses. Angular, React, Node, mean, React Node, mean, Ionic, right? What else? AWS. Okay. So that's how you will be printing it. Yes or no? Yes or no? This is how you will print it in the HTML. Correct, guys? Agree? I need to know from all of you. Agree? Yes or no? Yes or no? All of you. All of you. None. No one should be pending. I need answer from all of you. So Meher and Pranshu, these two people has a problem. They are saying no. Everyone is saying yes. They are saying no. Any reason why? What happened, Meher? What happened, Pranshu? Why you said no? Correct? No. That's how. No. Pranshu from TR. Hold on, Meher, hold on. I know what you're going to say. Please don't speak. I will answer. Okay. I wanted to check from others also. See, now Rohit has started, churning his brain. He said no. So Pranshu, I'm talking about Pranshu from TCS. So Pranshu from TCS says no. So why Meher and Pranshu said no initially, and why then Rohit also jump in? If I need to print it like this statically, correct? Why I created a array. And what happened if the courses will come, which is definitely a live scenario, that the courses are going to come from the DB. In the DB, we are going to have all the courses. From the DB, your API will pull all the courses. Your API will pass the course list to your service. Your service will give all the course list to your class. From the class, you will print it to HTML. This is complete dynamic stuff. If I mean, if it is dynamic, then why I will print it statically like this? So answer is no. Answer is no. Correct? We need to print it dynamically. So now my next very innocent question is, what I should do to print my courses dynamically? Because this is a failed idea. This cannot happen. Correct? This is a static scenario, static value. Correct? Every time when new course come, I need to add it over here statically, and then I need to give a build to the entire site. Again, I need to deploy the whole site one more time. Again, one more course get added. Again, I need to deploy a site. This is dynamic. So I need to print it dynamically. So can you guys suggest me, all of you, what should I do? This time Rohit, printed the syntax also. Great. So do you all agree that we should use loops? I'm not talking about the syntax. Don't worry. I have not told you the syntax. I have just told you about the directive. I have not showed the syntax, so I'm not worried about the syntax part. Don't worry about the syntax. That I will tell you. I'm saying, do you all agree we need loops? Quickly. We have 15 minutes left. Okay. So we all are in agreement that we need loops. Correct? So let's try the loops. So I say li. So loops means I need functionality. Loops means I need some inbuilt functionality. It's a control statement. So there must be a directive. So what is the directive I told you? ng for. So asterisk ng for. Asterisk ng for is a syntax. So you have to take it as it is. It's a syntax. Okay. So asterisk ng for, I say let is an iterator. I mean, sorry, let is a way to create a local variable. So I say let I. So in your books, you have seen this for loops, right? You have seen the for loops written like int I equals to 0, I is lower than 10, I plus plus. This is how you have seen the loops, correct? So here also it is similar way. So I say let I is your iterator, which is going to iterate through or run through each and every element of your array. Where is the array? So let I off means I is a local variable. Off means it is going to iterate through each and every element of your or place of your or element of your array. What is the array name? Array name is course object, if I'm not wrong. Hold on. I do a lot of spelling mistake. Let me just copy it. No, it course names. Sorry. Course names. So this is your array. So I being an iterator, correct? Through let I created a variable I is an iterator. I of course names means I is going to iterate or go through or point to each and every element of your course name array. Okay. And when I will be doing that, what I will do is I say, hey, I print the value. I just print I, because first time your I will be pointing to Angular. So we printed, we say curly braces I. Second time I will be pointing to Node. So we print Node. Third time I will be pointing to React. So we printed React. So is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Let me save it. It's already saved. And yeah, you can see the order, correct? Mean was the last. What happened? Okay, sorry. Mean was the last. You can see mean, AWS, Ionic. Let me just change the position of mean and put it to top, which means from the API only. From API only, data is coming in this order. So dynamically, my printing will also go in that way only, right? So you can see node came at the end. So whatever data is coming from the backend, right, code behind, that is what is going to print on the screen. This is all property binding. This is all property binding. Binding variables, binding properties, binding object, binding array. This all comes under your property binding. Is that clear to all of you or not? Yes or no? Quickly. Okay, so Rohit has a question. Why did we use loop in the opening tag like we use any attribute? Okay, so good question. So basically, this is attribute based directive. Good question. So this is attribute based directive. I mean, I thought of giving this description maybe later part of course, but it's okay if I ask, no problem. So basically, this directive, most of the directive are attribute based, or no, I should not say like this. I should say like the directives are segregated into three part: attribute based directive, event based directive, right? And what do you call it? Or structural directive or control statement based directive. Okay. So attribute based directive will work on the attributes. Event based directive will work over the events. And structural directives like this ng4 is a structural directive. So these will work like asterisk. I mean, we need to put asterisk in front of them. Correct. So structural directive, event based directive, attribute based directive. So मेरे saying sir array index value 0 index length array chalega. Yes, absolutely correct, Meher. So any doubt in that? Your loop will start from 0 only. Absolutely right. So Pinky is saying last part number. I didn't understand what is the last part number. I mean, what you're trying to ask. You can unmute yourself and you can speak also. So Mehboob has a question. If we need some of the attribute instead of all asterisk, what will the syntax? No, Mehboob, we don't do like this. Whatever, these are inbuilt directives. Okay. So whatever syntax they have given, we have to use the same. Whatever syntax they have given, we have to use the same. So okay, so Pinky is saying last section, please repeat. So last section, what I told is we have a different kind of directive. Again, you have not seen those directives, so how you will be able to understand? That is why I said no. I will go step by step and then tell you what type of directive is this. So this is structural directive. All structural directives should start from asterisk. Now let me jump on one event-based directive. Then picture will be more clear to you. Okay, picture will be more clear to you. We'll go step by step. Don't worry. So this is structural directive. ng4, ng if, right? These are structural directive. So Rohit is saying, can't we use any terminator for the loop, like only maximum 5 element will print? Why not? So this will come with pipes. This will come with pipes in upcoming session. Within this week itself, you will see all these things. So I'm happy that you guys are actually running, and I wanted you guys to be like that only. I always like to run first before I walk. I know we have a consequences for that also. We should walk first and then run, but I always like, and it paid me so far, trust me. 99.9% cases I always run before I walk. So I wanted to learn from my mistakes. So that is how I that is how the interest, that is how I kept my interest in life. So I run, I fall down, I get up, I learn. So Pinky saying, sir, what I'm asking, what was wrong with that array? There's nothing wrong in that array. I'm not getting your question, Pinky. You're saying your question is, I'm asking what was wrong with that array. Nothing is wrong in that array. I guess Pinky, I'm not able to understand your question. You can unmute yourself and ask. Don't worry. Okay. So let me jump on. Let me now jump on some other kind of directives. How about event binding? We have not seen that, right? We have seen only one way. One way means so far we have seen only property binding. We are just binding the properties. We're binding arrays. We are binding properties. We are binding objects. So this all comes under property binding. We have not seen event binding. So at least this also we see today. Then we close the session, right? So how about putting an event? So again we'll be using some directive there, but let's go step by step, one by one. So I say h2 and I say event. Okay, so for event the best thing is button. Let's have a button and say click. Simple, click button. And now I need a click functionality. I need a click event. Correct? Agree, guys? I want a click event. So obviously I need a click functionality. Yes or no? I need a click event. So which means I need on click functionality. Yes or no? I need on click functionality. Yes or no? Correct? Okay. So for click functionality, again, what I need to use? A directive. What I need to use is a directive. What is the name of the directive? Click directive, right? Now you should have a question that for loop, for directive, for ng for directive, we are putting an asterisk. For ng for directive, we are putting asterisk, but for click directive, we are enclosing it in parenthesis. Correct? So that is what I was trying to tell you. All the structural directive should get started from asterisk. All structure based directives starts from asterisk. I mean, this is the way. So you put ng if, so it will be like this only, asterisk ng if, asterisk ng for, asterisk ng switch case, correct? Asterisk ng is, I mean, something like that. All the function based, event based directive will be enclosed with the parenthesis. Okay, parenthesis. So I need a click functionality. I need a click functionality. So what I need a click directive. That means, so click directive will be inside the parenthesis. So I simply say over here, I say on click handler. That's my function name. On click handler, my function name. So I created a handler. I mean, I created a function. Correct? I created a function and associated it to my click directive. Is this part clear or not? I called a click directive and pass a function to it, click function to it. You might have done it so many times in different languages, right? Guys, clear? Yes or no? From all of you. I have 14 members, including me. I need to know the answer from all of you. Is this clear or not? Is this much you understood or not? So Mary is saying no. So Mary, what part you didn't understand? Okay, I give you a simple example. You take your phone, and there you see a button called call. You tap the button call, yes or no? Correct? You tap the button call and what happened? It start calling. It start calling to that person. Simple. Similarly, so which means you have a function, you have a click functionality on the button, and there will be a function which is going to call on that click functionality. Correct? Maybe the function name would be call and the event name is click. So here my event name which is a directive basically, correct? My event based directive is click, and the function which I'm calling, the function which I'm calling on click is on click handler. Is this clear or not? Meher, is it clear to you now or not? Good. So click is your event. Click is your event based directive, event type directive. Okay, event type directive. ng4 is your structural directive. Click is your event based directive. Okay, and on click handler basically is a function that you're calling on click event, that you're calling on click event. No, we don't have this function. That is my next question. We don't have this function. This is user defined function. Do I have this question? Sorry, do I have this function declared anywhere? Answer is no. Correct, guys? We don't have this function declared anywhere. This is just user defined question. This is just user defined function. So let's define this function. Just like I give an example to, example to Meher, that when you click on call button, there would be a function behind it. Call, maybe call. So do we have that function? Answer is no. So now let me just minimize the constructor. Now after the constructor, in the class only, okay, don't forget, after the constructor, inside the class only. This course class is a separate class. Don't mix it with the app component class. Okay, course class is a separate class. So we are talking about app component class only. Inside app component class, you declare this function. You declare this function. What this function is doing as of now, I say it is simply saying alert, alert, and say hello, you called me, right? Correct. So let's say these two things are hooked or not. This event binding is hooked or not. Let's see. Okay, let me just draw. So this is our function, correct? This is our function which we have hooked with the click directive, correct? This is our function, our handler, which we have hooked with the click directive. So will it work or not? Let's see. So I go to my click button, click on it, and you can see it says hello, you called me, which means it is completely hooked, which means event binding is happening. Correct? I change. Okay, let's do some change. I pass the value also. I pass some static value. I say Ajay. Okay, in single code I pass Ajay, and now my function is expecting a parameter. Correct, team? Simple programming, no fancy stuff. I pass some value in the function, correct, and I'm expecting it in the body. So I say value which is of string type. I'm expecting a string type value, correct? So let me just print, I mean associate this also. I say value plus, correct, I say value plus my message. Okay, save it. Let's see will it work or not. I click, it says undefined. Why? I didn't save it or what? Yeah, now it says I have not saved it. So say, see, Ajay Hello, you called me. Clear, team? All good? Yes, Meher. Alert is for printing. Absolutely correct. No doubt, Rohit is saying parenthesis required. Yes, yes, Rohit. As I said, click is basically an event-based directive. Click is event-based directive. So all event we always enclose in parentheses. All events are always enclosed within the parentheses. That is why, since click is also event-based directive, that is why click will come under the parentheses. Yes, Sandeep. Alert is for pop-up. Alert is for pop-up. Any other doubt you have? Any other doubt, question you have? Okay, no sir in alert function. So what is the doubt in alert function? Okay, till the time you are passing your question, let me just move ahead. We are already 5 minutes over. Okay, the value is written without the placeholder. Okay, understood. So we need placeholder. Okay, good question. We need placeholder basically in HTML. In class, we don't need placeholder. We can directly hook like this. Okay. In class, we don't need placeholder. We need placeholder in HTML because there we are printing it. You got my point? In HTML, we need to print the value of variables or properties or objects or arrays. That is why we need the curly braces or curly braces or interpolants basically in HTML, not in the class. No, it's okay. Now is it clear, Rohit? Now is it okay? Yes or no? Quickly. Okay, good. Good, good. So last thing, then we close the session. This again, this Ajay is what? Static value, correct? Correct. But what we need? We need a dynamic value, right, team? We need a dynamic value. So I will not, I will not disturb the existing example. So I just simply copy paste the ULLI example one more time. I mean, I'll copy the same thing here. Okay. Copy the same thing here and save it. Right. Good. And now what I will do is just pay attention over here. What I'm going to do now here is so now what I'm going to do here do over here is I will attach a click directive here like this. So I say click equals to same method I call, no change, same method I will call. Okay, on click handler. And what I will pass now is, instead of passing the hard coded value like Ajay, I will pass I. So what do you see? I mean, what do you say? What's going to happen? Tell me. What you say? What is going to happen? Tell me. This li is going to generate dynamically, right? So every li has a course name. I mean, a value of I. Correct? All the value of basically course name array. Each and every element of course name basically. So this click event will be associated. Now my question: this click event will be associated, or this click directive will be associated to one li or to all the LIs? My first question, quickly answer. I associated a click event, click directive at the li level. This li is getting generated dynamically, correct? So my question is, this click directive is going to get attached or associated with all the LIs or to only one LIs at the parent level? Sandeep, did you get my question? Can you answer? You didn't get my question. So my question is, I'm saying this click, please pay attention here. This click event we have associated with our li, right? And li is generating dynamically. We have multiple li's. So my question is, this click event will be associated to all the li's one by one, or it will be there at the parent li, first li. If anyone wants to change his answer, can change now also. There's no harm. Okay. So, Meher, this time your answer is incorrect. It is going to get associated to every li. You all are correct. It is going to get associated or hooked with every li, because li is generating dynamically. So every time with new li, right? With new li, a click event or click directive will get associated, right? And do you agree on this also, that with every I you will get a new value? Do you agree on this part, that on every I which I'm passing in the on click handler will be getting the dynamic value or new value? Like first maybe Angular, React, Node, Mean, Ionic, AWS, like that. Yes or no? From all of you guys. We are running late. Please. Correct. So now what is going to happen is, just quickly see. So if you understood all these things, so now when I click on, let's say, React, what happened? Click saved or what? Is spelling correct? Yes, it is correct. Did I pass the right value? Yes, I pass. Okay. It must be within the button, maybe. No, not like that. Something else. Maybe I did a syntax issue. I mean, I did a mistake in syntax. The spelling correct. CLICK, click, correct, equals to double quote click handler. Is that correct? Yes, this is also correct. Inside that I am passing I. Is this also correct? Yes. Why not? Then what is the issue? Let's kill the server and start it again. Npm start or ngserve, both are fine. Let it run, let it compile. 1 second. Yeah, it's compiled. This click is working, but why this click is not working? Come on, what happened? What is the mistake that I've done? Oh, what a mistake I've done, man. My mistake. I have associated this click functionality on the second list. I should be doing it in the first list. My mistake, my bad. Okay, so I added it over here in the event section of the list. Okay, so now it should work. So I click on Angular. So it says Angular, hello, you called me. I click on node, it says node, hello, you called me. I click on INIC, it says INIC, hello, you called me, right? So that's how we are passing the names, the values dynamically to our event. Okay, and at the background, event is processing it and taking the appropriate action. Correct? So like this, if I have, if suppose this is not a course list, let's say this is the health drive list, and I say I wanted to join the second one. So when I click, I will be passing the health drive ID. Correct? And at the background, the health drive ID will get captured in the class. Class will pass to service. Service will pass to API. API will pass to DB, and the DB, it will be stored that I am joining this health drive. Correct, team? Agree? Is that clear to all of you? Are we good? If yes, then let's close the session.